Embracing the Tao, ancient wisdom for modern life. Welcome to our journey into the timeless wisdom of Taoism, a philosophy that harmonizes us with nature and ourselves. I'm your guide today. Let's embark together. Section 1. What is Taoism? Taoism, founded by Lao Tzu, emphasizes living in balance with the Tao, the ultimate reality and source of everything. 3 core principles. 1. Wu Wei. Non-action, aligning with nature's flow. 2. Pu. Simplicity, letting go of ego and desires. 3. Tzu Jan. Self-so, embracing natural spontaneity. Let me share a story and analogy to illustrate the powerful philosophy of Wu Wei. Story: The Tree in the Storm. Once, a fierce storm swept through a village, threatening to uproot trees and destroy homes. 2 trees stood tall near the village center, a rigid oak and a flexible willow. The oak tree resisted the strong winds, stiffening its branches and trunk. But the force was too great, and the oak snapped, crashing to the ground. The willow tree, however, yielded to the wind's power. It bent and swayed, allowing the gusts to pass through its branches. When the storm subsided, the willow stood tall, unbroken. The river and the rock. Imagine a river flowing smoothly around a rock in its path. The river doesn't try to move the rock or resist its presence. It simply flows around it, continuing on its natural course. Wu Wei is like the willow tree and the river. It's the principle of non-action. Not passive, but aligned action. Non-resistance. Embracing natural flow. Adaptability. Yielding to circumstances. By embracing Wu Wei, we learn to let go of rigid control and expectations. Align with life's natural currents and challenges. Flow effortlessly around obstacles, like the river around the rock. In essence, Wu Wei teaches us to harness the power of gentle, adaptive action, allowing life to unfold naturally, without forced resistance. The philosophy of Pu explained. The empty teacup. A young monk visited a wise Zen master, eager to learn about enlightenment. The master poured tea into the monk's cup until it overflowed. The monk exclaimed, "Master, the cup is full. No more tea can be added." The master smiled. Exactly. Your mind is like this cup, already filled with thoughts, desires, and prejudices. How can I teach you anything new? The monk realized his mind needed emptiness to receive wisdom. The unpolished mirror. Imagine 2 mirrors, one polished and reflective, the other dull and unpolished. The polished mirror represents a cluttered mind, reflecting only our preconceptions and biases. The unpolished mirror symbolizes Pu, a mind emptied of distractions, allowing reality to reflect itself truthfully. Pu is the principle of emptiness, letting go of ego and preconceptions. Simplicity, cutting through complexity. Receptivity, opening to new insights. By embracing Pu, we learn to release mental clutter and biases, approach life with a clear, unbiased mind, reflect reality truthfully, like the unpolished mirror in essence. Philosophy of Tzu Jan, the bamboo flute maker. A skilled craftsman devoted himself to creating exquisite bamboo flutes. He would wander into forests, awaiting inspiration to select the perfect bamboo stalk. One day a student asked, "Master, how do you choose the ideal bamboo?" The master replied, "I don't choose it. The bamboo reveals itself to me. I merely cut away the parts that aren't flute." In essence, Tzu Jan is the principle of self-so, things unfolding naturally, without forced interference. Spontaneity, action arising from inner harmony with circumstances. Non-manipulation. Allowing life to express itself freely by embracing Tsujan, we learn to trust in life's natural unfolding, act spontaneously, aligned with inner wisdom, avoid forcing outcomes or manipulating situations. In essence, Tsujan teaches us to embrace the effortless, spontaneous flow of life, like the river carving its own path or the bamboo flute revealing its natural melody. Does this story and analogy help clarify the essence of Tsujan to you? The concept of yin-yang. Yin-yang represents life's interconnected opposites. Dark light, female-male, passive-active understanding. Yin-yang brings balance to our lives. Let me explain yin-yang and let us delve deeper into its dichotomy and balance. The dance of day and night. Imagine a harmonious dance between two lovers, day and night. Day, yang, represents light, warmth, activity, and masculinity. Night, yin, embodies darkness, coolness, rest, and femininity. As they dance, day's brightness gradually yields to night's soft glow. Night's tranquility slowly surrenders to day's vibrant energy. This eternal dance illustrates yin-yang's essence. Yin. Receptive, passive, cool, dark, feminine. Plus represents earth, moon, water, rest, intuition. Yang, creative, active, warm, light, masculine. Plus represents heaven, sun, fire, action, logic, balance. Yin and yang are interdependent, inseparable, and interchangeable. Each aspect contains the seed of the other. Plus yin has a yang core, e.g., night has stars. Plus yang has a yin core, e.g., day has shadows. Balance occurs when both forces are equally expressed and harmonized. Cycles of yin-yang. Birth, growth, yang. Maturity, harvest, peak yang. Decay, rest, yin. Rebirth, yin-yang balance. This cycle applies to nature, life, and even our daily routines. Wakefulness, sleep. Implications. Embrace both yin and yang aspects within yourself for inner balance. Recognize yin-yang cycles in life to navigate challenges and opportunities. Cultivate harmony between opposites, e.g., work, rest, logic, intuition, for overall well-being. This acceptance of the wholeness of life can be found in many philosophies and psychologies. Practical applications of these understandings. Incorporating Taoist wisdom into daily life. 1. Mindfulness. Observe thoughts like clouds passing by. Here are some helpful techniques. Mindful breathing, 1 to 2 minutes. Pause and focus on your breath. Inhale slowly for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Apply while waiting in line, commuting, or feeling overwhelmed. This technique quickly grounds you in the present moment and reduces stress. Mindful eating, eat slowly, chew thoroughly, and notice flavors, textures, and smells. When? During meals or snacks, even just the first few bites. This can enhance enjoyment of food and improves digestion and portion awareness. The 5 senses, check in, pause and notice. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch. 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell. 1 thing you can taste. This can help gain presence when anxious, bored, or disconnected. It engages your senses to center your awareness. Mindful transitions. Here's a subtle one that makes a big difference. Before you move from one task to another, like from work to dinner, just pause. Take a breath. Even 5 seconds helps your brain reset. You're basically saying, okay, next chapter. Body scan, lying in bed or sitting at your desk. Take a few seconds to mentally scan from the top of your head to your toes. Notice, are my shoulders tight? Is my jaw clenched? No need to fix it, just noticing is enough. Mindful walking. Next time you're walking, to your car, the kitchen, wherever, slow it down just a touch. Feel your feet hitting the ground. Hear the sounds around you. It turns an everyday thing into a quiet, moving meditation. Name the emotion, feeling overwhelmed. Try saying, "This is stress," or "This is frustration." Just naming what you're feeling actually lowers the emotional intensity. It's like telling your brain, "Hey, I see you," and that's calming in itself. Digital mindfulness. Before you pick up your phone, ask, "Why am I doing this?" Sometimes it's habit, boredom, or even stress. That tiny pause can help you break the scroll spiral and be more intentional with your time. You don't have to do all of these. Just pick one or two that speak to you. Start small. One mindful breath, one mindful bite, one moment of presence. Simplify habits. Reduce clutter, live modestly, shrink your daily loop. Think about the stuff you use every single day. The 3 mugs you rotate, your favorite hoodie, that one shampoo you actually like. That's your daily loop. Now here's the trick. Start by pulling out just those items, the ones you use consistently. Put them in easy reach and box up the rest. Not throw away, just set aside. Why? Because when your space only contains what you actively use, your brain relaxes. You don't have to decide between 5 kinds of face wash. You just grab, use, move on. It's like decluttering, but with training wheels. You're not making dramatic decisions. You're just seeing what life feels like with less. And honestly, it feels kind of great. Automate one small habit you hate. Okay, we all have those little tasks that drain us. Maybe it's figuring out dinner every night, or dealing with that pile of laundry that somehow grows overnight. Here's the tip. Pick one tiny, annoying thing and make it automatic. For example, create a rotating 7-day dinner menu. No decisions, no stress. Set a 10-minute timer every morning to reset your space. Lay out tomorrow's clothes the night before, even if it's just sweats. This isn't about discipline. It's about removing friction. The less energy you spend on repetitive decisions, the more space you have to actually live. Automation is freedom, especially for the small, simplifying. Your life doesn't have to be a big, dramatic overhaul. You don't need a capsule wardrobe or a minimalist Pinterest aesthetic. Just start with shrinking your daily loop and automating one small habit. That's it. Start there. Let the peace creep in. If you found this helpful, give it a like. Maybe share it with a friend who's feeling overwhelmed. Drop a comment. What's one small habit or item you could simplify today? Listening to intuition. We live in a world full of noise. Advice from books, experts, strangers online. A constant stream of opinions telling us what to do, what to chase, who to be. But in the middle of all that noise, there's something quiet and often ignored. Your intuition. That inner knowing that whispers, not shouts. Here are some reflections on Taoism's philosophy that can help in practice. Slow down when it feels rushed. There's a strange thing about intuition. It never panics. When something feels frantic, rushed, or like it must be decided right now, that's usually not your inner wisdom talking. That's fear. That's pressure. That's your nervous system on overdrive. Intuition, on the other hand, it feels calm, even when it's warning you. It speaks in a low voice, a gentle nudge, a quiet unease you can't quite explain. So here's the everyday application. When you're about to make a decision, small or big, and everything feels urgent, pause. Ask yourself, if I slowed down, what would feel true? Give it a walk, a night of sleep, even 60 seconds of silence. Often the insight isn't missing. It's just buried under all the noise. Notice the body's yes and no. Intuition doesn't always show up as a clear sentence in your mind. Sometimes it shows up as a feeling in your body, a tightening in your chest, a heaviness in your gut, a lightness in your shoulders, or a sense of ease, even if you can't explain it. Every day we make choices, what to say yes to, what to walk away from. The body often knows before the mind catches up. So try this simple habit. When faced with a decision, pause and ask, what does this feel like in my body? If it feels expansive, peaceful, grounded, that's often a yes. If it feels constricted, heavy, tight, it might be a no. Learning to read your body is learning to read your intuition. It's not about being mystical. It's about being present and honest with yourself. Intuition isn't about magic or certainty. It's about honesty, about giving yourself enough stillness to hear the voice you've always had, the one that doesn't need approval to speak. Flow like water. Don't assume, observe. Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching says, "The supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to." In Taoism, water is the ultimate symbol of compassion. It doesn't resist or judge. It simply flows, adapts, and supports whatever it touches. So here's the practice. Before judging someone's behavior, pause. Instead of reacting with, "Why would they do that?" try asking, "What might they be going through that I can't see?" Maybe they're impatient because they're in pain. Maybe they're cold because they've been hurt. You don't have to approve of their actions, but you can understand their humanity. Compassion begins where assumption ends. Let your mind flow like water, curious, open, and soft. 2. Sit in their seat, literally or mentally. Another Taoist idea is that the Tao doesn't pick sides. It sees the whole. Taoism teaches that opposites are not enemies. They're just two expressions of the same truth. Light and shadow, yin and yang. So in daily life, practice this. Imagine sitting in someone else's seat, not to agree, but to understand. Whether it's a coworker who's frustrating you, a stranger who cuts in line, or a friend with different values. Take 10 seconds to mentally step into their shoes. Ask, if I were them with their history, would I act differently? Most of the time, the answer is probably not. This is Taoist compassion, not sentimental or forced, but rooted in understanding how connected we actually are. True compassion doesn't mean becoming a doormat. It means becoming like water, strong, clear, and soft where it needs to be. So today, try this. Don't assume, observe, don't judge, sit in their seat. Let the Tao guide you, quietly, gently, without needing to control everything. Because when you flow with others, you also return to yourself, overcoming ego and desire. Taoist strategies to transcend ego and desire. 1. Self-inquiry. Regularly examine motivations. In Taoism, there's no obsession with becoming more, only an invitation to return to what's already true. Lao Tzu writes, "Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom." But how do we really know ourselves? Not just our habits, but our why. Here's one simple, practical, Taoist-inspired self-inquiry you can practice every day. Ask, am I doing this from alignment or from fear? Sounds simple, but it cuts deep. Before making a decision, reacting, or saying yes to something, pause and ask yourself, is this coming from alignment, meaning peace, clarity, curiosity? Or is it coming from fear, like needing approval, avoiding conflict, or chasing validation? You don't need a perfect answer, just awareness. That's the Taoist approach. Gentle observation without force. You're not trying to fix yourself. You're just returning to the truth of who you are beneath the noise. So here's how to try it. Set a small reminder on your phone. From alignment or from fear. Or write it in your journal at the end of the day. Why did I say yes today? Why did I avoid that conversation? Over time, your answers get quieter and more honest. And in that honesty, Taoist wisdom says, is peace. Self-inquiry isn't about overthinking. It's about returning to the moment, to the truth, to yourself. So today, ask gently, why am I doing this? Let the question open a little space and just listen. Non-attachment. Let go of outcomes, focus on process. We live in a world obsessed with outcomes, success, results, achievement. But in Taoism, the wisdom is simple. Do your work, then step back. The only path to serenity. Lao Tzu, Tao Te Ching. So here's one way to practice non-attachment. Not in theory, but in everyday life. Focus on the process. Release the result before starting anything. A project, a conversation, a goal. Ask yourself, can I show up fully, even if it doesn't go how I want? This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you pour yourself into the moment and let go of needing to control the ending. Whether it's a creative piece, a relationship, or even your morning routine, love the doing. Let the outcome unfold. This is the Taoist way. To move without forcing, to give without clinging, to act and then release. Here's something simple you can try today. Pick one task, maybe it's writing, cooking, cleaning, and do it without thinking about where it's going. No measuring, no comparing, just presence. Afterward, ask yourself, what did that feel like when I wasn't chasing the finish line? That feeling, that's freedom. That's non-attachment. In Taoism, non-attachment doesn't mean giving up. It means showing up with your full heart, but with open hands. So today, just do your work and step back. Cultivate humility. Recognize interconnectedness. Taoism doesn't teach humility as self-deprecation. It teaches humility as remembering your place in the great pattern. Not above, not below, but within. Lao Tzu writes, all streams flow to the sea because it is lower than they are. Humility gives it its power. So here's one Taoist way to cultivate humility. Not by shrinking, but by awakening. See yourself as part of the whole every day. Pause and notice how much of your life depends on others. The food you eat, grown by hands you'll never meet. The clothes you wear, stitched in factories far away. The language you speak, passed down by ancestors. Even your breath, part of a shared air. You are not a separate self. You are a thread in the tapestry. And when you feel that, truly feel it, humility arises naturally. Not as a performance, but as a kind of awe. So here's a simple way to live this truth today. Pick one object, anything around you, and trace its origin. Ask, who touched this before me? What lives made this possible? Even a spoon, even your phone has a story. That awareness, that's Taoist humility. Not because you are less, but because you are part of something so much more. Humility isn't thinking you're small. It's knowing you're not alone. So today, look around. Bow gently in your heart to all the invisible hands that shape your life. If this video resonates or has grown your understanding, comment below. I want to see more clearly before I react. Stay soft, stay kind. Let the Tao guide you, Until next time, this has been Mr. Fox. Take care of others and take care of your inner stillness.